Yeah,
Welcome, welcome
mm,
GSL fans to Feels Bacchus Man versus Qin-Kais. My name is Evo. Joined tonight is Ket Monster for these wonderful games we're looking forward to. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you very much, man. It's been a pretty good evening so far as we are getting it. We are in the picks and bans right now, and definitely look forward to seeing what gets taken off the table here. Oh, boy, I'm having technical issues.
Yeah, it looks like so far we've got standard sort of bans for this meta. Baron just such a strong god right now with the healing. The Consigned Spirits, I believe it is for heal.
Yep.
Super strong right now. Kali, Baka, Mercury, all auto attack junglers, what are just carrying games. And Jingwei, Baba Yaga, just probably the strongest two gods in their respective roles.
Yep, and the Mercury. And now, Carly, as you say, a great hyper carry late game. With games getting to the stages that they are getting full build is pretty common now, compared to previous metas when games would pretty much blow out the water before 3 or 4 items were confirmed. But Bacchus is one that I haven't really seen a lot of. I don't think it really matches up to the Carly. Do you think that it is worth the ban, or do you think there are other stronger picks at the moment that are maybe worth taking out instead of that?
I think Bakasura, his sort of niche, while I think he struggles compared to other auto attack junglers, I believe that he makes it so hard for many of the sort of stronger ability or on the stronger side of ability warriors like Sasano's still pretty good right now. Bakasura completely shuts him down. And Morton as well. Morton is known for his sort of auto attack junglers. I'm pretty sure he has a Bakasura in his pocket.
Yeah, so something we would definitely look to see, and I agree with you across the rest of the board. The Mercury, the Jingwei, the Baba, incredibly strong as well in their respective roles. Mercury probably slightly unfavored compared to, like, say, the Bacca and the Carly, but definitely like to see that as cleaner locked in here, as well as the Kakulan and Athena. So on the side here, wanting to get a bit of that global rotation in, the Torn always an effective piece, and definitely wanting to maybe look to see if they can get something, maybe a strong burst mage in the mid, maybe a bursty ability-based ADC in the duo lane to try and follow up with it.
Yeah, for sure. Got to consider as well this Cleo on the side of just it's what they call just feels Bacchus, I believe they are. Yeah, the Cleo, very good flex potential between solo and jungle. Believe she's fallen off a bit in solo, due to the rise of warriors and just overall nerfs to her kit. Kukulin is quite a rough matchup for her. Whenever she's like not able to fight in the wave with her ultimates. The other side, the Athena and Kukulin, pretty standard where they'll end up going. Don't think Athena's really got any value in the jungle right now. So we see a Kernanos picked up, which probably just a comfort pick. I'm not really seeing a purpose to this Kernanos pick, and Kepri is just an irritating pick so
Yeah,
far.
yeah, no, I agree. Capri always strong, being able to pull someone slightly out of position. The res is always something you've definitely got to watch out for in the team fights. And I agree with the Cernanos. I feel it is quite a niche option. I think even when they added the cripple back to the Bramble Blast, Cernanos was never even favored at that point, having that extra bit of CC in his kit. It does help him lock down a lot of the stronger hunters in the game. But it does also have the impact with the polymorph on the ultimate, the wild hunt in the team fighting stages of the game. So it's definitely something that I think maybe a lot of teams aren't paying attention to a lot and aren't really expecting. We could potentially see a lot of good things from it.
Yeah, I also like this Naja pick coming in here. I love Naja into Kepri. You have the ability to take a low target into the air and potentially kill them before the Kepri can even get the Scarab's Blessing off, or they could just take the Kepri up into the air themselves to prevent any teammates from being healed or revived, sorry, during that duration. I love the Naja pick. It's something Morton's played before, and he's relatively comfortable on it. I think Naja not as bad as she used to be. With the prevalence of crit and just strong CC is so valuable in this meta.
Yeah, for sure. And I think with the nerfs, I think to crit recently definitely did hurt a little bit, but it's not been that detrimental. Like I say, the Amelior's Sash is a great dodging tool, allows them to get in incredibly quickly, a bit of CC with it, and taking someone out of the fight for as long as the Nijar ult lasts is definitely hugely impactful in the later team fights. Like I say, the Kepri or any sort of hyper carry, especially if you're in a behind position, the fact that Nijar can safely take someone off of the table and out of the fight for that long is definitely a massive benefit for the team. As the second round of bans are coming through here now, Izanami taking off the table as well than Nemesis. Nemesis pretty strong at the minute, I feel, definitely in that upper echelon and tier of the junglers. But Izanami, I think, is a hunter that isn't overly favoured at the moment. Definitely always been an iffy pick, and I think is a strange one because I feel Cernos into Izanami is a pretty decent matchup for the Cern.
Yeah, definitely has that ability to cripple out the Izanami dash. Relatively easy to follow with the with Cernunnos ultimate polymorph. It's just a decent matchup. Izanami, I think, still has her values. I think she obviously has early pressure, and the late game is pretty scary as well. I think it's one of those gods what can really go either way depending on who's playing it. On the other side, I see a Saket ban, which doesn't really make much sense to me. Not a lot of healing so far on the side of Qin-Kais, and I don't know whether it's actually that good into that comp so far. I don't really know what the backline is. Cupid picked up now. Pretty decent matchup into Kernanos.
Yeah, he definitely does. The major benefit to that has the dash. We can try and definitely easily look to dodge the Bramble Blast. The ultimate again, hugely impactful in team fights. And here we have the Gilgamesh for the side of Feels Bacchus man. So another big circle for the team along with a certain ultimate here. So there's going to be a lot of disruption in these team fights. The drop kick is something that I think even with Gilgamesh's rounds and rounds of nerfs by Iraz, because of his play not only in competitive but even in the ranked higher tiers as well, is something that you've still got to watch out for. He still has an impact in the early game and has a massive impact in the late game and can definitely do a bit of damage.
Yeah, I think with Gilgamesh will always be valued as a big team fight god with his ultimate, and whilst his early pressure has diminished because of a round of nerfs and obviously the health changes in 9.5, he's really fallen off out of favor, especially with the rise of the auto attack junglers, but still definitely got that value. Morgan Le Fay picked up here, just a pretty safe mid pick. Into Foth though, similar range, but I think Foth obviously has the edge. His 1v1s in mid are just so hard to deal with once he gets that first pen item online. They haven't really got much in the way of diving Foth or sticking to Foth for them the Gilgamesh. I think Cleo doesn't have the best of time particularly. And with the Cupid as well, it's going to be hard for the Gilgamesh and the Cleo to really dive effectively.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think there's a lot of gods in this game that do struggle to stick to a Thoth if he can dash through his glyph as well. He has the route to peel for himself. Morgan Le Fay, though, in that matchup in the mid lane, she's incredibly safe. Has the fear, has the knock up and knockback. The ultimate when she drops to lower HP percentages, heals for more, has a massive amount of burst. So Thoth definitely not going to be looking to try and 1v1 the Morgan Le Fay, though, because I feel as though that's definitely a winning matchup for the Morgan in that situation. If he dashes aggressive, she's going to fear him and she will have the burst behind her to be able to take him out, I feel. But it's definitely going to be an interesting one around the mid. Morgan can still be caught out, though, if she's not careful. So I would like to see how the junglers play and if they're going to look around this mid lane matchup with these massive burst mages, or if they're going to look to try and play around the side lanes, maybe around the warriors, maybe around the hunters. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
I think if you're Morton, honestly, here, I think the Nausea and the Thoth have that good synergy. That great setup allows for Thoth's ultimate to just become confirmable almost every time. I would be surprised if Morton really doesn't focus Zara on this Morgan Le Fay here. But we'll have to see as we go into game one.
Yeah, that's for sure. And actually, speaking of that as well, bringing up a point that I mentioned earlier on, the Athena did say we're going to look for these big burst mages to follow up from the Athena. And I guess if you're waiting on the cooldown of an ultimate An Athena taunt, I feel, is just as useful and just as good to couple up with the Thoth ultimate coming through. So definitely something to watch out for. But having the Capri does help if you see the charge coming up, and if you don't have the Nijar ultimate, but you see the Athena taunt with a Thoth winding that ultimate up, it's such a loud audio cue that a good, well-timed Capri ultimate could quite easily save whoever's getting targeted for that. And it does feel, I would say, a pretty good trade if you're a Capri. You've saved one of your allies, that's a massive team fight ultimate down for the opposing side. So it's definitely something to watch out for, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they are able to play around that.
Yeah, for sure. Haven't seen much of this team. So I've just feels Bacchus. Um, Pretty interesting to see how they do into Qin-Kais, who are a relatively established team. Finished second overall, oh, first overall, sorry, in the first split of the season, but kind of underperformed, honestly, during mid seasons. Finished third. Quite a consistent team, honestly. Have to mention as well, they have got Blank Tsukiyomi and Liner subbing in for them today. Liner typically in solo laner, and Blank Tsukiyomi is a mid laner.
Yes.
Mainly. Liner is on Spaced Out, who won mid seasons, who look probably like the strongest team in the league. It'll be interesting to see how she transitions into into the ADC role here.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. It's definitely awkward when you're thrown into a a role that you're not used to having to play in. But at the same time, if you have that skill and you have the mechanics and just a bit of comfort behind you to be able to jump into a different role, it's definitely possible. I think solo and ADC, yes, the gods that you're playing are very different, but you have a kind of similar kind of mentality and matchup, and that where you kind of have someone around for that while. Yes, for the ADCs when the support leaves. Eventually, though, you're in that 1v1 matchup. You know what you need to farm. You know how to play the lane and play the matches, and it can feel very fluid and very similar. Once around about, you get to that 10-minute mark when the supports are leaving, and it is again basically becomes the second solo lane.
Yeah, for sure. Be looking here. Have they gone to a pause here? No. No. Interesting miss stone base. Don't know what's happening here. Oh. Time has gone back. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I don't know what was happening there. The timer was going down to like almost a minute. Interesting builds here already. The Thoth has opted to go for the tier 2 Chronos pendant. Completely forgot the name of it.
T2 Chronos Pendant was that? It's
Yeah.
there's Lost Artifact, and then or is it Tiny? I can't remember. Okay,
I can't remember it.
I promise I do.
I know the Dual one's Cursed Orb.
Yes.
Be interesting to see. Can we get
Now we're
items back?
please, there would be
Just having some technical difficulties here, folks.
as per
Should be.
usual. High res can't fix their own overview system as we check here. It is, yeah, it is. I believe it is Tiny Trinket, and then Lost Artifact is the tier 2. I want to
I
say
thought Tiny
I'm gonna
Trinket was
no Tiny Trinket.
the lifesteal one.
That would be tier 1. Yes.
God, what is this item? It will forever
Forever live on in our hearts as the thing that we don't remember the name of. But I
yeah.
guess tier 2s are something that we don't speak about too much. But I do definitely think it's definitely a unique take. I think not having the Sands of Time or the Conduit gem in mid might be a detriment. Having the extra burst for the minion wave. Restored Artifact. There we go. Thank you very much, production, for covering over that one. I would have been here for the next couple of games, probably beating my head against my desk if you couldn't have heard me. But yeah, definitely a unique take for the mid lane. I think not having the mana regen for the Sands of Time and the extra cooldown in the early game. Do you think they're going to struggle here against this Morgan with this different start?
Yeah, I think so. I think I understand what the Thoth's going for. Once, yeah, I think it'd be a Chronos pendant online as fast as possible. Just helps him with his early clear, which is like Thoth's early clear is just renowned as one of the worst in the game. It is incredibly rough. I think not going a conduit gem or a Sands of Time will just really harm that as well, and his ability to sustain. Granted, the Christ. The tier 2 Chronos pendant, it has a bit of MP5 on it. It's 60 magical power and 15 mana 5. Restored artifact, there it is again. Thank you.
We've got it.
We've got it. It has a bit of mana sustain on it, but I just think when you're getting comparable amounts of mana and the extra cooldown off Sands of Time, I don't see why you wouldn't want to go it, honestly. Ooh, low in solo lane here is Panada and Alfie. I think Alfie's going to have the edge on this matchup for most of the lane. Kukulin is just such an aggressive lane bully, and he wins most matchups just because of that ability to transform and rage. Such a strong god right now.
Yeah, incredibly strong. And Glad Shield as well, with the most recent buffs to it just becoming such a strong item. Cleaner will definitely struggle until she gets the, what I would assume most cleaners, we see the Bluestone Spike Gauntlet here, so we'll be looking to go for the Solely to start. As soon as she gets that online, once it's stacked, with the lifesteal, with the cooldown and the power for it, I think she's definitely going to have an easier time. But it's definitely going to be a rough time for her as well, nevertheless, as looking to try and contest the left side Harpies here. But I would like to say as well, I would expect to see maybe the Thoth, as soon as he hits that gold threshold, to be able to afford to buy the item, as just to drop that fort as well. Taunt and Pluck here from Khepri and Athena respectively, trying to go aggressive. Neither of the ADCs taking any poke here. It's a matchup of the supports, but download later here, very low mana on the Khepri. As they are looking to disengage, purple buffs have respawned, but just jumping back to this mention of the Thoth quick, would you expect him to, as soon as he has the amount of gold for it, want to back immediately, look to try and get a Chronos online as soon as possible to make his farming quicker, make it easier for himself in the mid lane?
Yeah, I would assume so, honestly. I think he's going to struggle for a longer portion of the early game if he don't get it online as fast as possible. I mean, it's that item is worth about 1400. Can't really get much potions. It helps him with his harms his mana sustain, harms his health sustain through the early game. I think honestly he just needs to get it as fast as possible. Nada low here. Alfie going in. Can he get the solo kill? Good job, Alfie01 managing to get the oh, minions. No, that's unfortunate. Unlucky there's Alfie, but good first blood in the solo lane from Alfie.
Yeah, Pinder hanging around just a little bit too long there. Half health with the Kukulin having came back into lane, full health. I was going to say full mana then, but it's a rage bar, full rage. Close to transforming, so sticking around a little bit too long. Unfortunately, it did fall down there. Has completed the Soul Eater now, though, which is a massive power spike and is going to make this a lot better for the cleaner here in the solo lane. Sovereignty picked up, though, first item on the Cullen is a strange one, but with giving him the extra HP 5 as well as the aura for his team, I do agree with it. Obviously, the aura's not going to affect anything until the late game, as Cupid ultimate, is used here, and Scotty falls down. The ultimate was not used there on the Gilgamesh, but was taken out. And looking at his items here, he has got the tier 1 of Winged Blade here, so I believe that could have been going for his passive there, the adventure, the free item there. So I think getting caught out of position for that and dying for it, which is definitely an unfortunate situation there. As Chronos Pendant finally completed there at the 5-minute mark for the Thoth. Emperor's Armor as well on the Athena, so looking to try and help themselves dive, maybe looking to be able to play a little bit safer under their own towers as well.
Yeah, I sort of understand it. I think the team of Qin-Kais is really looking to dive this Morgan Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay, while she does have some of the best stealth peel of any, just not particularly the most mobile outside of her ultimate. I think the constant threat of Beads Burn and the Emperor's Armor, they are definitely going to look to dive the tower. Pinada low again here. Alfie knocked into the tower and the Gilgamesh ult used there. Nothing comes out of it though. Winds of Smash. That's it. Ooh! Ring toss close there, but yeah. Ultimate's been traded. Can't really get a lot. Blue invade's not possible. What are you thinking so far, Evo?
I'm definitely thinking that the builds are pretty standard, I would say, across the board. Teams, I feel, at the minute haven't quite decided where they're wanting to look. You saw the poke there coming out from the mid lane. From the Thoth, there was a good chunk of damage coming out, and it's definitely having a little bit of an impact. Having that extra cooldown with the passive as well from Chronos Pendant is definitely having a big impact in this early game.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. Neutral camp's been taken here by Griffinizer. Pretty even in the duo lane right now. Lino's opted for a dominance, actually, first item. Interesting pickup, not one we've particularly seen much. I think the common build has really been to go into like trans into a Atlanta's bow. I think that's what most ADCs have been building as of late. Be
Yeah.
interesting to see how it pays off.
Definitely standard as Scotty's over in this left-hand side looking for him. Drop kick onto the Cupid beads immediately there to be able to get out of the stun. Got not bad, but able to get away. Then Gilgamesh not wanting to fight. Athena, defender of Olympus, comes down on top of Cupid just to protect her ADC, who is able to get out scot-free there. So no kills, but going back to your point there as well with the builds from the ADC side, both builds definitely looking different. Transcendence is definitely an option on the Cupid. The Heart Bomb and the Fields of Love have great power scaling and can definitely do a lot of burst. As Ingression onto the opposing speed buff here, winds come down on top of Morton. He is stuck inside the has to go up into the ultimate as we can't quite see what's going off here. Athena taunt comes through, reach doesn't quite connect. Jump forward from Gilgamesh. Has the burning scimitar. Morton finally drops down. Kepri ultimate was used there, and I do believe that did res Scotty back from the dead. So the download later here, sorry, on the Kepri saving his team already. As on the right hand side, Pinhead getting forced under his tower yet again, and this does look like not a blue buff invade, but looking to proxy farm. I think this could Cullen already, even though it's an even level. Is definitely looking to go aggressive. Dash forwards over in the left-hand side. Both ultimates used by the ADCs here. Beads burn on both by the Senenos as well. And Blank Tsukiomi coming up, charges up the dash. Should have the taunt available to him here. Looking to try to close the gap, but I don't think he's going to be able to get there in time. Taunt should just barely be out of range there. As the Senenos is able to get back underneath his tier 1. Fighting across the board here, as I think there's aggression over in the right-hand side of the map as well here. Whew. A lot of fighting going on, but not a lot picked up for it. It was only a kill for kill around the speed buff there, and just doesn't feel like any team's really progressing their advantage right now.
Yeah, definitely. Not much coming off of ganks and sort of semi like teamfight scuffles really, such as this. What's going on now? Oh, Morton goes in. Good Windfire wheels there. Scotty looks like he's gonna go down. Yeah. And Pinado, sorry, yeah. Blank Alfie going under tower. Really good there from Qin-Kais. Just timing everything perfectly, being patient to wait for his ultimates. But yeah, they get a blue invade off of it. Really good stuff there from Qin-Kais. Red in... Oh, no, it's killed him. Have a look. Scotty, let's have a look at the levels. Scotty is 2 levels behind, oh, 1 level behind, sorry, on Naja. That's not the best as a Gilgamesh. You want to be impactful early, with just potency and CC that he has with dropkick. But he's not really been able to get much done at the minute. In duo lane, sort of even in levels, builds. Kernos opting to go Devourer's Gauntlet. Interesting. The item's getting a buff next patch, but it's... I think the numbers on that are wrong. So I remember they took some lifesteal off. I think it should be 20% lifesteal. I don't know if the numbers are Oh, Scotty getting engaged on here. Good Windfire Wheels there from Morton. I believe it's Windfire Wheels. Yeah, Windfire Wheels. Yeah, really good job there by Morton's. Fight continues. Polymorph comes through. Good, good pickup there on the fourth by Plush Rush. It looks like they're going to disengage. No objectives can really be done. Yeah. Oh, they're going for Gold Fury. Be interesting to see whether they can do this. Morton coming around the flank on download later here. Gold Fury is low. Looks like they're going to drop it maybe. Oh, he's going for it. No, Qin-Kais get the Gold Fury. Download later low. Good taunt there. Yeah, Plush Rush getting it. Really good stuff there from Qin-Kais, just showing still that they're such a good team fight unit. You know, they've been winning off like just early aggression, early team fights all of this season, and they're still doing it. Really good stuff so far.
Yeah, definitely looking to be aggressive now as we get to the 12-minute mark here. Beautiful still on the Gold Fury. Neither team had the Oracle, so they knew that there was potentially no vision on it. As a 3-man gank over onto the right-hand side, this clean and not having the best lane. That's for sure. Beads forced out there by the root from the Cucullin, so just looking to rotate now, kind of building up these 3-4-man cells here. As all 4 on the right-hand side, there should be a free Pyromancer as well. I definitely think they risked it a little bit too much, in my opinion, leaving down a later there on this Khepri to try and steal the Gold Fury. With how low he was, I feel as it would have been just easier. Take him out, don't risk it, because that was a very close call. He actually very nearly stole it with the Khepri 3 there, but managed to get away with it. Builds, though, coming through. We were talking about how this cleaner's going to struggle in lane, and even though she's keeping even with levels, despite the aggression, as Cernanos ultimate comes out, Cupid ultimate comes out, Beads burned by both ADCs here. ASIC attacks trading back and forth, incredibly low on the Cernanos, but that lifesteal coming through here, able to keep him alive. 2 more members come through from the side of Qin-Kais. Athena ultimate comes down, taught to try and save her ADC here. Cupid does fall down to the Morgan Le Fay, rotating over from the mid lane. 2-0, but still kind of keeping even with her opposing Thoth. Fighting over in the dual lane again, and I feel as though the biggest detriment in this situation is the build from Cernanos just providing so much more in response in comparison to what the Cupid has built so far.
Yeah, Qin-Kais just still such a strong item, like, again, with the health changes, and they took, I believe, 100 gold off it. It's 2,600 now. And
Yes.
Devourer's Gauntlets, I'm honestly unsure if the nerf or not has gone through. I remember they said they were going to take 10% lifesteal off of it, and Elder, our good caster, hovered over it earlier. It still said 30%.
So I believe it should be 20%, and I believe it's going to 25, or is it? Or it's 10 to 15. I can't remember because how they word the patch note, how they word the patch notes for it is very strange.
Yeah.
But it is. They took it down and then they're putting it up a slight bit. As ultimate was used by Nijar, the Khepri ultimate comes out. Winds coming down here by Scotty. The Khepri ultimate able to keep him alive, pulls him back under his mid lane tier 1. Sorry to have to cut you off there, but fighting going off on the right hand side of the jungle. As Cleo is here, Athena dash taunt, and that did force the beads off the Morgan Le Fay in the mid lane here. As we see a Khepri here actually also decided to go for the Emperor's Armor to mitigate the opposing Emperor's Armor built by the Athena. But also if the Athena does fall down, it does allow themselves to defend, but also push just as easy as well. Blanking clearly blue on the right hand side, dropping the Greater Scorpion here. But there, sorry to cut you off there about that one, but yeah, the Devourer's Gauntlets definitely not reading what they're supposed to do. They got nerfed, they're getting buffed back up in the next patch to come out. But I think that lifesteal and the Kin's passive is just so much stronger than the dominance and the Atlantis that the Cupid has.
Yeah, definitely. I think even as the builds progress, I think getting the Windeem now is a Kernanos. Oh, engagement onto Morton here. Looks like he's just going to get out. Meanwhile, the rest of his teammates finish clearing the red buff. Lino rotating over here actually. It's good. Nah, she's backing off. So them grouped up, and rest of the team Morton's pretty low. Not much I could do. Pinada getting poked out again by Alfie, and Athena coming over. Looks like they're wanting to dive it. Morton coming as well. Windfire Wheels is available. Blink down though, so just looks like they're gonna get the blue buff. Yeah, just decent invade there. Unfortunate on the gank. Pinada's stepping up again here. Interesting decision. Tower looks like it's gonna go down as well to the minions. Let's have a look. See what we're doing. Rotating onto the towards Gold Fury could be a good engagement here, Evo.
Yep, as the Nijar goes up into the air, you mentioned that the ultimate is still available, and there's the combo coming through. The Thoth ultimate is able to drop one down. Gilgamesh picks up the second kill. Down later, very low here, has to use a Scarab's Blessing on himself. Route 2, but Morton is still able to pick that one up. That is a 2-for-1 plus rush. Did fall down as well. Gold Fury is available here. It is the second Gold Fury to spawn of the game. So it does look like what Qin-Kais are going to look for here is trying to zone out as best they can. Beads used by Gilgamesh there in response to the Military Sash. Cripple Root comes through just to delay the Kukulin that little bit longer, not allowing him to jump forwards, but unfortunately not quite enough as the side of Qin-Kais here dropping incredibly low, tanking the Gold Fury. Military Slash comes through from Morton to try and slow them down there. Does fall in response, however the Cernanos does drop down to Alphys as well afterwards. A lot of fighting. Athena had back, dashes forwards, taunts through. Did come down with the defender of Olympus. Gilgamesh is able to jump over the wall. No one able to follow here. As in comes Morgan Le Fay, the ultimate not used just yet, has got it available to them, not wanting to use it just yet. Dash forwards from the clear on the right hand side, looking to go aggressive onto the Thoth as it is 3 versus 3 in the mid lane. Fear comes through incredibly low here on the Thoth, taunted back to save the life of the mid laner. Thoth does get out here. About to go into the rage transformation here, trying his best, is incredibly low, so should fall down here. Down later is tanking the tower in the mid lane, and this is getting a very dicey. This is a very long-winded fight going on here, just off the back of a Gold Fury. As Discord is being crap for me, sorry guys, so I'm a little bit behind as I don't even know what's going off. But Morgan Le Fay trying to get out. Here comes the Nijar. I believe that was the Nijar ultimate used to close the gap, and it was done well. Was able to close the gap, land the artillery slash, take down Morgan Le Fay, dropping down for the second time of the game. As the left tier 1 did drop down, the right tier 1 as well did drop down. So Qin-Kais taking down the first 2 towers of the game here. And a beautifully dragged out fight, to put it simply, for the side of Qin-Kais, coming up big off the back of the Gold Fury.
Yeah, it's looking like we've got a pause coming through here as well. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. But yeah, I think towards the end of the fight, actually, we saw Download later try and get his Scarab's Blessing off on to Zara on the Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah.
I think they were just stood over each other, really couldn't get it off. I think Pinada, a bit of a lack of judgment as well, trying to dive a tier 2 tower to try and kill, I believe it was Alfie and Plush Rush, and just goes down to the tower. The poor decision making, really, on this Cleo.
Yeah. I just want to bring up with the Cleo as well. I'm not a fan of this. Okay, the build for Cleo in jungle is a little bit different, but in solo lane is pretty standard. It's pretty much almost a Wukong build, I almost feel, actually, where you go for the Soul Eater first item. I'm not a fan, though, of this Transcendence. They're already struggling in lane. I feel as though something they needed the defense online earlier. They've got the Breastplate of Valor, which is great. I would assume working on a CAD shield next here to increase that ability to lifesteal, but they're just not providing enough frontline for the team here, I feel. You've got the Gilgamesh to try and make up for that lack of a raw second frontliner, but Gilgamesh just isn't quite at that position yet. Berserker's Shield doesn't give a massive amount of defense. The Runeforge is going to help for the extra HP, but it's just not coming through as strong as what this Kukulin is. has the only Hunter's Guard. When he's fighting into more than 3 members, has the 9% damage reduction, as well as the Glad Shield and Sovereignty. So you've just got this squishy assassin that's got this really powerful build, but just not able to capitalize off of it. And is definitely struggling. And it's even proved by the player damage here, as Gil is the Kukulin is nearly doubling the second highest damage, which is the Morgan Le Fay 11,000 to the 20,000 player damage that Kukulin's done.
Yeah, Alfie's having an incredible game this set. Gone for a Brawler's Beat Stick, which is going into the Cleo. But yeah, I think Cleo's issue with this matchup, like Cleo's one thing is that what keeps her going in solo lane is her ability to fight into the wave because you just get more value out of the Soul Eater. I mean, Kukulin immediately shuts like basically halves that effectiveness with his one in the human stats. And the Brawler's
Yes.
Beat Stick's going to make it even harder for Cleo to fight. I just think that the pressure Kukulin gives compared to Cleo, like, you basically just give up your lane. There's not really much you can do. I think Cleo, from a solo lane, whilst, like, her numbers have been tanked. I think in solo, where you kind of have to build sort of hybrid, I think you just really don't end up outputting enough compared to in jungle, where you can get these big banshee screams through the walls and big ultimates. I think her effectiveness as a solo laner has really diminished as Cleo as a character is really sort of not fallen off particularly, but just been balanced a bit more.
Yeah, definitely falling out of favor. I think is the nicest way to put that one. I think it's
Yeah.
just, most gods, as is the case with most MOBAs, are slaves to the meta. When the conditions are right, a character that hasn't been played for patches and patches, maybe even seasons, will all of a sudden become the strongest god in the game. Just off the back of just how things change and develop through the nature of new items, new gods, new designs. And that's just how it goes, I think, not only with the nerfs, but just with the prevalence of how the game states are going, with the changes to the objectives and the towers. Cleaner Ultimate was always really strong to help burst down objectives, but just doesn't quite feel as strong as it used to at the moment, with high-res buffing all of the main objectives, the Gold Fury, the Fire Giant, the Pyromancer. So just one of those situations where unfortunately just has fallen off and just doesn't feel like she's quite as strong as she used to be.
Yeah, I think Cleo as a god really relies on her numbers and the items. I think at the minute she has neither. Like, she lacks CC as well, so her sort of one value and one asset has really just sort of been diminished. Engage onto blank Tsukiyomi here. Kepri able to pull in the Athena. Morton coming around the flank here, looking to go on Zara. Does find him with the Windfire wheels. Will he go down? Yep, Alfie able to pick up that kill. Pinada gets a kill onto blank Tsukiyomi. Morton critting the Kepri here. Able to go onto Zara. Can he get the artillery sash? There it is. He gets the ring toss. Alfie going on to Griffinizer in the back here. Down later, able to root Morton out. Going back onto Griffinizer. Griffinizer, Scarab's blessing onto him. Download later goes down. Liner rotating over. They've just won a 4v5. Evo could be huge now for Qin-Kais. Maybe looking towards his Fire Giant. Only Alfie and Liner right now. Morton coming across. Huge fight for Qin-Kais.
Yeah, beautifully well done there. If you actually noticed, Morton, beautiful target acquisition, knew who he needed to take out, managed to take Zara into the air. Didn't actually take them out with the ultimate, even with the Deathbringer online. They were able to survive just that little bit longer. Morton dropped down to the Fire Giant. I was going to make a comment that with them being so low, I thought that the Nijar would have been fine. Having the second ability with the fully stacked passive for the extra healing, I thought they would have survived, but unfortunately dropped down there to the Fire Giant. But doing their best to survive, but took out the target that they needed to. Weren't quite able to take Zara out with the ultimate, but were able to stick onto them for long enough. Capri, unfortunately, just wasn't quite able to get the Nijar off of his mid laner. and eventually did fall down. Beautifully rolled on the deer side into the fire giant. Unfortunately, Morton loses his buff as soon as he obtains it. I think that's a record for how fast can I lose my fire giant buff, which is an unfortunate situation to be in. But that's still 4 members strong with fire giant, and decently sized level leads are coming through. You're looking at roughly 2 to 3 levels across the board, apart from the ADCs, 1 to 3 here on the Cernanos, but still keeping even. Dash taunt forwards by the Athena beads shoes on clear. There goes one. There's the second ultimate charge knocked up by the Kukulkan ultimate. Dash forwards. The Thoth damage actually came through to help to confirm that one. The winds come down from Scotty under the tier 1, but not wanting to push their luck too much, do decide to back off. The Thoth is starting to get to this stage where he can reach a lot further than a lot of the other gods in the game, and is able to burst them down. That is one quick and clean kill, and this should be a free Pyromancer for the side of Qin-Kais.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this stage of game with FG and 8k, 9k now gold lead, it's not particularly much that Fields Bacchus man can do. Kind of just have to capitalize off the mistakes Qin-Kais may potentially make. Granted, they're not making many, but I think so far you've got to give it to Alfie01. I mean, 7-1 on the Kukulkan has probably been Qin-Kais' best player this season, and he's continuing his incredibly impressive form on this Kukulkan. And a rather flexible player. Engage here onto download later. Blank Tsukiyomi low here for ability to see. Oh, engage onto Morton there from Scotty. Blinks used both on both guards. Morton Windfire wheels connect there. Can't even see who he took there. Scotty. Fields of Love down on Scotty now. Yeah, download later. Too far away to get the Kepriel. Blank Tsukiyomi goes down to Griffinizer. Morton low here. Might go down. Yeah, good kill there by Pinada. Alfie, too far away from the fight actually. Looks like Fields Bacchus man are gonna take this fight. As I just mentioned, need to capitalize off mistakes. I think they have done it. Alfie trying to do his best here. Good return kill there by Liner. Zara's low. Zara goes down again. Really good stuff by Liner. Download later may potentially go down here as well. Liner not really able to get close enough. Pinada also low. Ooh, download later's pathing might go down here. Heart Bomb connects. Scarab's Blessing goes off. Yeah, he's gonna dash out, and they're just gonna soft defend with tier 2 tower now. Good return kills there from Qin-Kais, but you know, quite poor positioning. The fight was too split for them, and they sort of lost the early stages of the fight off that. I think let's have a look here. Members of both teams respawning now. Should get 3 fire giants off the side of Qin-Kais. That feels Bacchus man. Pretty good. Pretty good team fight there for Qin-Kais. Slows the game down. Gold Fury still available. I think Qin-Kais should be looking for it. Dash in from Blank Tsukiyomi there, and nothing really comes out of it. Just gonna secure a red buff here. See. Just hovering around Gold Fury. See if Alfie can pick out anyone, or Morton can get it with the Windfire wheels. Gold Fury started up here. Just getting zoned out. Scotty trying to go around the back. Scotty goes over a wall. Just gets burst though. Morton gets a kill onto Pinada, and Liner gets onto Scotty there. Griffinizer dashing away. Beads out from Griffinizer, and it just looks like he's still gonna go down. Zara and Download Later just kind of have to leave now. Download Later with his Kepri ults, he's not really reviving many of his teammates. He's always leaving it till like last minute, sort of, when there's only one of his team left. Really needs to get these Kepri ults off earlier. Alfie looking like he'll kill Zara here. Scarab's Blessing still up, and Mongla failed down now as well. But yeah, Gold Fury on the side of Qin-Kais. I feel like download later really needs to be getting these backs of not Scarab's blessings off. Sorry, it's just not particularly having a great effect. Let's have a look at builds here. Alfie is completely full build now. Cleo still one item behind. Scotty getting more defense. Morton, I'm not too keen on the Bumba's hammer. I think I'd rather go Bumba's spear. Just it helps the scaling that you'd get with the ultimate, where you can just fully burst people with it. It's quite effective, in my opinion. Zara quite far behind on his build. Only got 3 items fully done. Liner's got that Hunter's Cowl. Support builds, download later picking up Spectral Armor on the Kepri. Pretty good against the Nausea and the Cupid. Fire Giant and Pyromancer coming back up now. Be interesting to see if anyone on the side of Qin-Kais can get an engage off here. They're in a position to. Team Comp has such good engage. They have the Athena and the Kukul in such a strong front line. And Morton can just capitalize off it so well on this Nausea. Having a good set is Morton. Alfie maybe going on Scotty here? No. Scotty does not take much damage with his build. Lots of defense. Magical and physical. Got Spectral Armor and a Shogun's here. Taunt comes out from the Athena. Panada getting burst. Alfie taking a fair bit of damage. Cleaner in the wall. Yeah, just trying to poke each other out. Haven't got much sustain on both sides. Someone got into the air there. Yeah, Morton managed to take Panada up into the air. Completely bursted. I think that took his whole health bar. Scotty in the back line here. Most ultimates down now. Alfie goes down. Poked out there. Morton doing so much damage in the crits, but yeah, feels Bacchus, man. Looks like they're taking the fight. Panada and Griffinizer are low here. Scotty going on to the liner, but Heart Bomb connects. Scotty goes down. Just not a coordinated follow-up. Now it is. Blank Tsukiyomi looks like it's going to go down. It's just Plush Rush. Panada goes down. Griffinizer, Zara, and Download Late is still up though. They might be able to get this. Good route there. Really good by Plush Rush. Incredibly good there. Managed to just turn this fight on its head and keep it good for Qin-Kais. Looks like he's going to go back in here. Nah, they Download Later. Griffinizer managed to get out. Really good stuff there from Plush Rush. Kind of saves that fight for his team. We did meme on him, sorry, a bit for his build at the start of this game, but he's really turned it around. 7-3 now on the Thoth. Probably second to Alfie so far this game. I mean, Alfie's played 37,000. My man he's having a good day. Let's say that. Yeah, super. I can fourth set. Not something that scoreline would suggest. All the gold split. But yeah, it's a super fun game so far.
Yep. And I'm back now.
You're here.
God, yo, technical issues known as, I don't know, my Wi-Fi randomly deciding to be terrible, but beautiful well done there. The solo cast, lovelyly done. Lovelyly. I've made a new word up, yay. Okay, we were real smite hours tonight. But yeah, that fight was absolutely incredible there. The side of Feels Bacchus, man. We're able to turn it around. As speaking of turning things around, it seems like it's Qin-Kais now wanting to go aggressive. Download Later caught out there on his own, but incredibly tanky now on the Capri, not able to get in. Cleaner sat in a wall, not taking a lot of damage actually being in there. Athena dash taunt, looking to try and pick one up as this Cleaner slowly ticking down in this wall, has to dash out into the Fields of Loves. This should get the Mesmerize off. The ultimate doesn't come through there. I thought that was Download Later ultimate. Onto one, the Nijar goes up into the air. The Kukulin ultimate used to knock up, starts to transform here. Dash forwards, beads force on the Morgan Le Fay, has to try and run away here. The ultimate comes through, Armillary Slash comes through as well there from Morton, is able to connect. No one lost for the sides of Qin-Kais yet. That is 2 members left. Griffinizer finally falls down. That is a 4-0. And there should be a push tier 2 on the right hand side, and there should be a free Phoenix as Scotty, unfortunately, at the back with no ultimate, because can only stand and watch this Phoenix gets taken down. And this could potentially be game here for the side of Qin-Kais, as they do look like they might want to just risk for this. They go forwards. This should be aggression onto the Titan. Scotty going in to try and peel as best he can to save his Titan. His beads were used, unfortunately, with the jump up and down in place. Tries his best. Members are coming back up in a moment, but with 5 members standing strong for Qin-Kais, this should be a game win for them.
Yeah, super fun game. Quite back and forth, honestly, but I think Qin-Kais honestly had the edge throughout the game. I think Alfie01 has put on an absolute clinic on this Cucullin. Probably the best Cucullin we've seen so far this year in the GSL. Top mitigated, top damage, just a brilliant, brilliant performance. A close second to Plush Rush, actually, who turned it around this game. After the interesting Foth build that we mentioned at the start of the game. But yeah, super fun set, and be interesting to see the rest of the numbers over here.
Yeah, definitely an incredibly good game. It did look like Phil's Bacchus man might have been able to turn that run around and actually look to take the game towards the end. They had a couple of mishaps towards the back end on the side of Qin-Kais. There, you mentioned that there was the fight where they got caught out, and it was Alfie actually. I feel was out of position, wasn't with the team when he needed to be, and they immediately capitalized off of it. But with Liner having the crit and the power online on the Cupid, Alfie being so strong still even at that moment in the game towards that back end as members and multiple players were hitting level 20 and the builds were starting to be complete. He was just so strong to come in, and it just allowed the Cupid just to hold left click, get the crits, rip through a couple of the members, and it was beautifully well done. And again, Plush Rush as well. Wonderful play, overstepping a little bit on the Morgan Le Fay, got caught out by the Thoth route, took them down. You mentioned them going back in. It was just a nice ploy. Having that Thoth step forwards, you know you can't out secure the Thoth. So being able to have him step forwards and just show his face on the Pyromancer forced the opposing team off, and it just allowed them to eventually just gain their momentum back and allowed Qin-Kais to play the game they want to again, and it allowed them to win in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's just overall, God, I forgot what I was gonna say. Just super, super fun set. Really good job there by Alfie. Just repeated like sort of team fight victories. Just sort of one wobbly moment, but think of them that. Pretty good display. We're going into a transition. Okay. Don't know whether we'll be going to a break here or not. I think we could maybe do with one.
Yep, if we could throw it over to a quick break, everyone. So stick around as we just jump into that, and we'll be right back.
Hello again, Glorious Smite League. I am Ket Monster, and Evo has had to leave me, unfortunately. There has been some internet issues, so I'm now joined by Traumatized. Hello, Traumatized.
Hello Matt. It's me, the solo laner for JBD. My first time casting in this league. I'm excited.
Woo! Hopefully you won't be the number 3 caster as we go into pick
Oh,
some time.
mate, don't go there. We've just started. Don't go there yet. Anyways, going into bans, Jingwei, Kali, and Baron. Pretty standard stuff. Pretty standard stuff. Very strong picks. You see, going to Mercury as well. Pretty standard bans from what I'd expect.
Yeah, definitely. Sort of similar to the last game, actually. Doesn't look like there's any respect bans coming out against certain picks. If any, I think they should maybe look at taking the culling away from Alfie. I just think he was way too impactful through the early game. And in team fights, like culling is so hard to deal with right now, just outputs way too much damage. Taking a lot of time with this last ban, actually. It'd be interesting to see whether... Ooh, a Thoth ban!
So ban
Interesting.
here.
I think Plush Rush was definitely good on the Thoth. Was not really that impactful early, but he came online towards the later stages of the game and sort of swung so many fights what were starting to slip away. And top pick Baba Yaga. What do you think about this one, Tir?
I'll pick Baba Yaga. I mean, we've seen it. It's not just a Nathan thing. Baba Yaga is just very strong at the moment. She is pick worthy. She is ban worthy, and just the safety that this character provides is enough. And you can't really counter pick a Baba, so picking her first pick is always a nice thing.
Yeah, definitely. Really, not many bad mid matchups for Baba Yaga. Few bad jungle ones, Thanatos in particular, but I think Thanatos as a god right now isn't the strongest. Be interesting to see what they pick in response here. King Arthur picked up here.
King
Um,
Arthur.
where would you
Listen,
say, Tier, that you value Cucullin and Arthur? Which one as a solo laner are you preferring right now?
if you can get away with a King Arthur into the right comp, King Arthur is undeniably stronger. But drafting him this early, it's just a death sentence. Cucullin is just way more straightforward in how his game plan has to go. Just has to like go in, do abilities, do damage. King Arthur has to manage energy, manage meter, look out for CC. Cucullin doesn't really have to worry about a lot of that stuff. So picking King Arthur this early, I think, can kind of screw over Field's pockets here.
Yeah, Arthur definitely has a fair few counter picks that you have to worry about. RTO, formerly the main one, has sort of fallen out into meta, or fallen out of the meta. I think it mainly comes down to sort of choice of jungle, how well you can punish a King Arthur, and a lot of them have been taken off the table. Bakasura probably being the
Yeah.
main one that King Arthur has to fear. But Cupid
It's,
again.
yeah, there we see it, there we see it. The
Yeah,
Cupid gonna be very rough for Arthur to deal with. And also, yeah, picking Arthur that early, as I said, is quite painful. They also picked a Fafnir, which kind of gives away what kind of comp they want to go for.
yeah,
If I was Feel Bacchus here, I might have gone for like, if I wanted the Fafnir really early, I would have gone like Nemesis Fafnir.
yeah, I'm not particularly keen on the Fafnir. Um, like just this early, Fafnir not the best peel out of any gods. Again, you want to be going for these objective comps. A Chiron, that's got to be a Chiron mid into the Cupid. I actually like that. I think it makes it a bit better for the King Arthur to try and live that cleanse. Going to be able to start using abilities again.
Hmm.
But it's, I think their draft where they are now, it's just they've made their how they're gonna draft so predictable, and I think it's gonna ultimately harm them. I think side of Qin-Kais are just going for picks what worked for them last game. I think they're gonna go for a similar comp. It's a comp what works for them. They love going for big sort of frontline comps, big team fight comps.
I mean,
Um,
all I'm seeing so far from Qin-Kais is just like, okay, we want strong team fight, big circles all around, safety. Um, this is just a very safe draft.
Yeah, it's tried and tested at this point, and it still works. A nausea ban towards Morton. That's just a respect ban. Blank Tsukiyomi as well. Get me Athena banned away. I think it's just so they can't run a similar style of draft. Gonna have to look for a different assassin. Be interesting to see who Morton opts for here. Not
Yeah.
really any
Also,
specific outfits.
I see some players have changed on the Qin-Kais. Are these actually are these trades or are these subs?
These are subs, I believe. Liner is subbing ADC, and Blank Tsukiyomi is subbing support, which is interesting. Liner, #1 solo laner, soon to be #1 ADC by the looks of things. Just a bit of a multi-role prodigy. And Printers is a big fan, so could be expecting her to move up very soon.
Yeah, well, I didn't see first game, so let's see her impress us here again.
She did quite well. Decent in lane, but I think in team fights, she just managed to save a few fights. For Qin-Kais, honestly, it was quite impressive. Trying to think who's picking now.
Yeah.
It's their ADC who's picking now. So either jungle or Kabrakan. Looks like Kabrakan jungle.
They've basically given away their things here. Like they could have, if they picked the Kabrakan earlier, they could have like tried to trick the Qin-Kais, just like, oh yeah, this one's going either like support or jungle. You're gonna have to guess which one. But when you pick a Fafnir and an Arthur, that's the first two picks. It's a bit more clear cut where each god is going.
Yeah, definitely. I do like the Kabrakan into Cupid, not so much into Baba Yaga, in my opinion. Bastet for Morton. Haven't seen much Bastet lately. Terra for Blank Tsukiyomi. Two gods we haven't really seen much of. Terra was very prominent start of last season, and Bastet just as soon as the second rework happened, sort of prominent, but she kind of fell off after recent nerfs. Be interesting to
Yeah.
see how effective the ultimate is, especially with the Chiron being able to cleanse it out the pull.
I mean, if we look at the CC they have here, they have a Cupid ult, they have the Kokolin spin, Terra field, and yeah, they're just looking to supplement the CC, so the Chiron's gonna really have to pick what he chooses to cleanse. As we see the Artemis being hovered here.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. Against a Terra who can just easily root her. Good matchup into Cupid. I think Bastet has potential to just easily dive on her. Kukulin has the ability to just stick on her as well. And
Yeah.
CC can use his ultimate against the Artemis Boar, Caledonian Boar. I just think the Artemis wants to win lane. I think in a meta where it's not all about winning lane, I don't know how effective it'll be in team fights. Artemis, a great team fighter and a surprisingly underrated 1v1 in lane, but I just think she has the potential in team fights. While she can turn it with the Caledonian Boar, I just think she's so easy to kill, and she hasn't got the best peel for it either. Chiron really lacking CC. Artemis has decent self peel, but
if I was this far into the draft and I saw a Bastet Kokolin, I would feel pretty insane to go in Artemis.
yeah, for
But
sure.
I do prefer the Qin-Kais draft here. I think it is vastly better, but I do think that the Feels Bacchus has one win condition, and that is if the jungle ADC is vastly better than the other team.
Yeah, for sure. Be interesting as well. Had a bit of a role swap happen on the sides of Feels Bacchus, man. Zara moving from mid lane into the jungle, playing Cabrek and jungle. Scotty moving into mid lane. Be interesting to see how that swaps out. Zara, pretty good jungler. Played against him yesterday. And he's just a consistent jungler, able to position well and abuse others who are out of position.
Yeah.
I think this switch up actually could do Feels Bacchus man a good favor. I don't know how effective Scotty is in mid. But we'll be able to see that as we get into game 2 of the
Yeah,
set.
we'll just have to see. Just hoping, especially against a comp like this, if Feels Bacchus man falls behind on these gods against these gods, they will not have a fun late game.
Yeah, for sure. Their whole plan is to burn these objectives, and if they're going to fall behind, it's going to make it so much harder. And I mean, they don't really lack secure as well. Like if Qin-Kais have the go ahead on objectives, and again, while Baba Yaga's secure isn't the best, would I prefer it over a Chiron or an Artemis? Absolutely. I think the best secure here is if Cabrakan basically ints to get his damage off on Gold Fury. That's even if he's going full damage Cabrakan, I just
I mean,
think.
we're gonna see a lot more brawling over these objectives. There is no safe secure. There, I think the hardest hitting ability that might be here is like maybe the Cupid ult, but I think that's it.
Fast Step Pounce does a pretty good amount as well. Cupid ult,
Maybe even Cabrakan wall, but who knows?
yeah, sure. It's taking a while to get in, yeah. I think the King Arthur for Panada as well could be quite a big turn. I think he didn't look particularly comfortable on the clear. I think the few instances I've seen Cleo in solo, both times been against a Cullen, the Cleo has been able to do absolutely nothing. I don't know if it's Cleo as a god has just sort of fallen off, especially
mean,
with the rise of warriors, just being able to bully her out.
it is also the fact that Kukulin has anti-heal built into his kit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. 50% anti-heal is massive when Cleo wants to be fighting into a wave, making use of a Soul Eater passive. Just makes her ability to sustain and clear so much harder.
Absolutely.
Let's have a look. Any interesting builds coming through? Plush Rush again. Yeah. We're getting into game here. Interesting build here. Oh no. He did have a tier 2 spellbook, which he's now sold and gone into a Sands of Time and staff. Do with the items back here. Are we in game now? Sorry. Yeah, lovely. Sorry about that. Yeah. Build sort of standard.
Yeah.
Arthur opting for more potions instead of a little bit of physical protection, looking to get pressured out early. I think he is. Or expecting it. Let's look. Anything else?
I think that's a bad move. I think you should just go the tier 1 Sov. Just stack up health potions. He went for multi-pawns as well. Like, if
Mm,
he's looking to trade, he's doing it the wrong way. Simply because Arthur at level 1 is gonna start out with 2 abilities. Kukulin's gonna start out with 1. So, automatically, if they're both bluestoning, there's just gonna be more pressure for the Arthur. So I really don't understand the point of that start. But let's hope it works
yeah.
out.
Cucullin now, you get the transform level 1 now, don't you?
You do get the transform level 1, but it depends on how you play the first wave.
Yeah. I think for one game I've played Cucullin, I think I got transform level 1 and it just seemed like I couldn't do as much as you used to.
Yeah,
Just 'cause
even
the
if you do
timing and the wave.
transform, the wave diff is still gonna hurt you.
Yeah, for sure. Frenzy built by the Fafnir as well. It's just another sign that we're really looking to do these objectives, and you know, I think the plan for Feels Bacchus man is just really predictable. Early gank here by
Early gank here
Zara.
on Alfie. Yeah.
Looks like Alfie's gonna live there. Good relic usage from Alfie being able to live. Pinada's still level 1 here. He might struggle here into Alfie.
Yeah. Sarah might have gotten a few of those minions, which will screw the Arthur over.
Yeah.
But the Arthur has hit level 2 now, so all should be fine. If there's any time to use those pots, it's now.
Yeah, sure. He has got a lot of them, so he should be fine. healing back up. Oracles go the way of Qin-Kais. Pinata low hit. Transformation coming
Yeah, this
through.
might be a kill here.
Gank here from Morton. Griffinizer low.
Yep,
Alfie gets a kill
Alfie
over in
gets the
solo.
first blood.
Griffinizer goes down.
Yeah,
Download
there's
later.
gonna be
Oh,
a 3-man wipe here, it seems, for the Qin-Kais.
yeah, that's not what you want early game at all. 3-0 within 2 minutes to Qin-Kais. And a comp what can easily fall behind. Having 3 deaths this early is not what you want. And as we were saying
Yeah.
about the Artemis pick, so volatile to ganks. King Arthur just struggling
Yeah.
early into the early pressure of Kukulin.
This is if where I'm the Artemis, I'm gonna be worried, or start being worried, because being behind on that character is not fun.
Absolutely not. And I think while there is potential for the swing in the 1v1 against Cupid with slow immunity and the Caledonian Boar, I just think whenever Bastet is over on the duo side of the jungle, she just has to be terrified. Like, it's honestly scary how much Bastet can do to Artemis before Artemis can even react.
Yeah, that's gonna be quite a hefty 1k lead for Qin-Kais, just 3 minutes in. Just resetting now, and yeah, as we saw, Pinata ends up getting first blood in solo. Didn't really respect the fact that Kukulin was about to rage as well as being level 2. He's just gonna run at you and kill you. It's just not much to do about that.
Absolutely. I think it's fair to mention as well, I honestly prefer Qin-Kai's comp much more late game as well. I think Baba is one of the best late game mages. Bastet's damage scales massively late game.
Yeah, I
Terra's
mean,
good late game in the team
Baba
fight.
late game, like, how do you even divert? You just presses 4 and you're trying to get bounced away.
It's a huge shield. Morton gonna go down here. Good
Yeah.
job there by Zara. Good tremble. I think Push Rush maybe should have grouped towards Morton while using that ultimate for a knockback. Might have lived there. Might have prevented the tremors from happening.
Oh?
Alfie low here. Oh no.
And ends up getting soloed. Well, it seems I'm gonna be the number 4 solo laner. What do you say?
Yeah, who knows? Looks
Pinata
like
with
it.
the solo kill. Honestly, that is kind of a huge turn, picking up both Alfie and Morton. They're kind of getting a bit ahead of themselves, I feel. Not really respecting the fact that these players are still capable of making a comeback, it seems.
Yeah, for sure though. Doing it in team fights last game, and the gold lead has shrunk back down from 1k to about 400 gold. Not really what you want. I mean, still a minor gold lead. And obviously, Qin-Kai's comp late game is still gonna favor any lead, or even just being even is favorable. But I think, you know, just a bit of sloppiness from Qin-Kai's.
Absolutely, but if there's any time to take advantage of stuff like this, it's now, and we see some big groupings here from the Phil's Bacchus man, and they're just looking to make sure that if they can run a gang squad, just go around kill people. I think they're gonna be able to just make sure that they don't get snowballed into the late game.
Yeah, definitely. I think thing we'll have to consider as well is whether Panada or download later get a cursed Ankh for his Terror. I think that's Terror's one big issue as a god. Oh, gank onto Plush Rush here. Managed to get out there with the leap. Just I think a bit impatient there from Zara. Maybe should have
Yeah.
just waited a bit longer.
I don't know if there was any miscommunication there.
Yeah, for sure. Pinada.
Pinata here in a bit of a pickle, but it's King Arthur. Just gonna use your 72 dashes to get out.
Yeah, King Arthur really hard to gank unless you're able to lock him down for long periods of time, lock down his mobility. Bastet, while she can just move him and disposition the Arthur, he's just gonna dash away afterwards. Not really much he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about that earlier play, I think, yeah, if you can't confirm that the Baba dash is down, there's no reason to initiate with your ult.
Yeah, for sure. You really want to try and interrupt the leap with the stun. or just try and catch him
But
later
we're seeing a
on.
little fight
Or-
here of just Qin-Kais trying to go a bit on the aggressive here. Not gaining much out of it, but yeah, they're just gonna try and reset, go back to some farm here.
Yeah, I think Plush Rush really has to back and start getting this Warlock staff on being built. I'm sure he has around like 2,000 net gold around now. Yeah, the uncommon staff. He's 2,000 gold in hand. He really needs to back and start stacking this Warlock staff. Really helps Baba's sort of average early game. Can't really do much in fights. Zara going in on
Yeah.
Blank Tsukiyomi here. Blank Tsukiyomi
Oh,
low. Good
being
wall.
caught out here. Very good wall.
Yeah,
And that
but-
will be Blank Tsukiyomi falling.
Yeah, good for Tremors there. Bit unlucky there for Blank. Yeah, the Tremors.
Bracken Gaming, yeah.
Bracken Gaming, yeah. Yeah, the Tremors were unfortunate. Just sort of got tremored back into the wall. Couldn't really escape. Zara looking pretty comfortable on this.
Stara, my
Bracken.
goat.
Yeah, he is. You two are familiar.
We are familiar.
But yeah,
But
good change, I think, on a slacker service swap between
yeah,
mid laner and jungle.
and I wanna just preface this by saying that it is now completely even again. It's anybody's game.
Yeah, for sure. I think just a few mistakes on Qin-Kais, really. Just positioning. Warding on both sides looks even. Let's have a look at Oracles. Down the later, able to steal it? No. I think he got one or maybe.
Yeah, might have gotten one.
So I'm not seeing a ward.
Just seeing
I
some
don't know.
brawling here in the solo lane. See people grouping up for a fight here. Oh, and yeah. Blank Tsukiyomi initiating here. Morton jumping in. They are fighting on their tower line, so. Oh, Morton jumping back. Being caught out of position. Having to beat and now getting caught. Oh my. Morton, that was not the play, my friend.
Absolutely not. I think this is poor judgment, I think, from Qin-Kais. I don't know why they're continuously looking to play around this mid lane. I think in this 3v3, whilst I think the 3v3 of Qin-Kais scales much better later game, I think early game you're going to favour the burst of a full damage Kabrakan, the burst of an ADC, of the auto attack damage of the Chiron, and Fafnir just able
They're
to...
just really not respecting the amount of control that this that they're just giving this Kabrakan. The wall is really impactful here.
Yeah, for sure. I think Morton should really look towards this Artemis and play through Lina. Lina had such a great team fighting phase last game. Why not just help her get to that team fighting stage a bit earlier? Panada out of mana here.
Yeah,
really
they're gonna give
doing
up
much.
on that Alfie kill. Alfie
Yeah.
not managing to secure the blue, it seems, but just making his presence known up there in their jungle.
Yeah, for sure. Morton going to... Is he going to leave Alfie's blue buff? No, he's going to go for it. Don't know if he'll drop it or not. Have a look.
Most
Oh,
likely will.
he does. Wow. If I would be screaming there. I would not be a happy bunny. Red buff coming up. Be interesting to see if any of these teams turn towards the Pyro of a Gold Fury, especially the side of Feels Bacchus, man. Got this objective burst comp. Zara going towards Liner now. Be interesting to see what he can do. Kraken spotted out there by Blank Tsukiyomi. He's just going to retreat back into his own jungle. Bracken, pretty good matchup into Cupid. Can cleanse the slow, I believe, on his one. So can just run at the Cupid and can block off the dash. Just a super good matchup.
Yeah, we see Morton here being caught out by the Kabrakan, having to jump out. Having two of his teammates to join up on him.
Yeah, just not much more.
We're seeing some spinning in the solo lane.
Spin to win indeed. Alfie taking a lot of poke here, actually. Just
and Pinata missing the big Arthur ult.
Absolutely hate to see it. Yeah, Alfie just doesn't really want to seem to fight Pinata back. He's taking a lot of damage. Transformation, but
Tries to push him into tower, but it's just not gonna work out. Yeah, just getting kind of slapped around.
I think King Arthur's at the stage of the game, now he's got his Glad Shield. Arthur has more buttons, so he can apply Glad Shield more times. So Arthur wins.
Yeah, I mean, the ideal way you fight Arthur here is only if you, only if you just use your abilities at a range and just don't try to fight him. Any prolonged fight in the solo lane and Arthur will just outtrade you. But we see a fight coming in here. Huge Kabrakian wall as he just starts slamming down here. Alfie in a bad spot, might fall here, get shelled. Getting stunned out. Oh, but he will get out, but the fight continues. Maybe not, as they start walking out here.
Yeah,
Very
Panada
well.
and Zara out of mana. Sorry, I interrupted you. Not much they could have done there, as you were saying, Tyr. Sorry.
Yeah, if I was Alfie here, I'd be willing to give my support some favors later, if you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Um, don't know if Alfie would swing that way, but
Oh, 100%.
100%. Morton stealing his solo laner's wave. Incredible. Kind of
Yeah.
needs it though. Falling behind. Can't really see the XP difference between Zara and Morton. I think it'd be about a 2 level.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 level. Kind of wide on the best stat up there as well. Not
Yeah,
really
Morton
connecting on it.
just really struggling to find his footing to get back here.
All the auto attack junglers, his favorite picks banned. Having a rough time of it.
As is the meta.
Yeah. His meta and he can't even play his own picks. It's a sad one for Morton.
It is a sad time for Mercury Morton.
Mercury Morton indeed. Zara looking for the invade here. Don't think that Plush Rush and Blank Tsukiyomi are aware of him flanking. He's gonna go in. Does he engage? Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
Blank Tsukiyomi
catching
caught
out Blank
here.
Tsukiyomi here. Might be bad, might be bad. It is bad.
Yeah, Terra into Gabrak, not the most fun matchup
But
at all.
Sara might be in a bit of trouble here.
Good
Yep.
rotation there by Liner. Shell comes out.
Yeah,
good
Line ends up getting
rotation.
picked up here though if the Artemis gets to do any more leeway here. Oh, missing the 3, very unfortunate. Morton just looking to...
No!
Oh!
Oh,
The
no!
legend!
Download later, so close there. Alfie coming around for a flank here. Be
Yeah,
interesting to see what I can
the
do.
dragon just running away.
I don't know about that pathing, honestly. He is going to try and back whether he gets there. On Alfie! And he's going to get that. He ults for it.
Yeah, he just didn't want to deal with it, I guess.
He wanted that kill.
So welcome to game 2 of Qin-Kais versus Bacchus, man. This is now an arena game.
It is an arena game. It definitely is. Everyone rotating everywhere. Scotty and then Blank just brawling it out. Zara on his speed buff. Yeah, this is chaotic. It is chaotic. Only 12 kills within 14 minutes. Scoreline not really representing how chaotic the game's been so far, but yeah, this has been a super fun set, both games.
Yeah. I mean, if we take 1 kill per minute, that means that we only had 2 kills without, 2 or 3 minutes without any kills.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a busy one. Forgot to mention earlier, Lina getting a huge shutdown onto Zara.
Yeah,
hard
ends
for her
up
to-
falling herself, but I think it's worth it.
It's hard for yeah, I mean Griffnizer's got a 1 level lead. I think honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I think it is a slight crime that Griffnizer's like been able to free farm all this game. I think honestly, as I said earlier, they should look to play around Liner. She's done
Yeah.
well in team fights. She's like I think she's comfortable in most roles. I just think like why not play around that
Yeah,
lane when you can't
that
do
is
much
very
in other
true.
lanes?
And as has been shown here with Morton, their mid fights aren't really working out, so I think a change of pace is really what they would need.
Yeah, for sure. Like Tsukiyomi gonna go over to Griffinizer here. Has walked over a ward though, so we'll go back under tower, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we might see a bit of a fight. Morton jumping in here, and they decide to initiate on these. Both teams here might just be looking to get this Gold Fury.
Yeah, for sure. I think Qin-Kais are positioned a bit better for it. I think Alfie and Pinada still brawling it out over in solo lane. Looks like they're not gonna go for it. Not really. I'm honestly surprised that Phil's Backsman haven't tried to sort of sneak away some of the objectives with their comp. I think Artemis had gone into some crit, and Chiron's just strong ability damage, able to secure decently well. I'm surprised they haven't tried sneaking any. I think they definitely have the potential to.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Be interesting to see whether Fafnir's upgraded his frenzy at all as well. Alfie
Yeah.
low here.
Alfie in a very bad spot here.
Oh,
And ends up getting soloed again.
Pinada just ran out of mana there as well.
Pinada, my goat.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. Old Pinada on the King Arthur. I think looks a lot more comfortable than he was on the Clio. And yeah, here it is. Frenzy popped.
Yeah.
Can you get the secure?
But
Oh,
King
yeah,
Kai
they do.
steal it.
Who was that? Was it close?
It might have been.
Scotty going in.
And they end up just... Baba just keeps going, but it seems that they're trying to get out. Sarah coming in here though, just looking for people to kill.
Can't really connect to anyone. Sarah's gonna go down by the looks of it.
Sarah almost going down.
Almost. Yeah, good steal there by Qin-Kais. Keeping the game even, was falling slightly behind.
Yeah. I love myself an old objective burner comp. What you gotta like be ready for though is the other team. Like, if it's contested, you still gotta like go and deal with that.
Yeah, for sure.
You
I
just
think,
stand there hitting the Gold Fury if they start hitting it.
I think one thing they could really benefit from is like a real like objective securing jungler. Like, I think Cabrakan, out of the magical choices, what might suit this comp. I think he probably has the worst secure out of the viable ones. Like, you've got Hebo and you've got Poseidon, who both have much better secure. I think that would have, like, sort of helped him there, for example. I think the secure on King Kais
I didn't see the wall come out from the Cabrakan though. The Cabrakan wall is probably the best secure they have on their team.
Yeah, I think he didn't wall that entire fight, really. Didn't really find the opportunity to do it. I think he might have just been looking to secure someone in the wall. I think with how low everyone was, he should have just done it for the damage, honestly. I think maybe overthinking it slightly. Alfie doesn't transform. Strange.
Yeah, we're seeing a 3-level lead on Pinada though.
Yeah, much better performance compared to game 1. I think Alfie were just able to run the game when playing against such a low pressure pick.
Absolutely.
Zara, let's have a look at Zara Morton. Zara even on level 5.
Zara going in here, trying to look for a pick maybe.
Hits the minion with his one, unfortunate. Faster ult connects. Wall there, but Zara's just gonna get caught out. Goes down. Good ult there.
Yeah, and they keep going here. Scotty in a very bad spot, able to dash in.
Pinada coming in behind. See what he can do with this lead he's got over Alfie. And Griffinizer here as well. Good shell. Morton's gonna go down. Liner comes across. Fields of Love onto Pinada. It's used. Blank Sukiyomi. What's that?
Pinada overextending here, realizing he's alone there. Kind of unfortunate that his team didn't decide to follow up with him.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. Alfie was just zoning the rest of the side of Phil's Backsman out. Again, compared or similar to last game, sorry, games, what's it called? Going either way, honestly. Or fights going either way, sorry. Quite a competitive game. I think we're looking at maybe 2 of the top teams in the league. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, JBD hasn't played yet after mid-season, so yeah, maybe.
Maybe. We've played. Well, haven't got casted.
Have not gotten casted. But Anyway, yeah, this is a game where there's barely a 500 gold difference. Like, it's been like this for a while, so I'm just expecting, um, whenever it does come down to these fire giant fights, that they're gonna be like the big difference makers in these games.
Yeah, for sure. Be interesting. Let's have a look. In fact, let's have a look at some builds because we haven't seen the builds in a while. Any interesting? Chiron. Ooh, yuck. I do not like that Chiron build. As he into Titan's Bane. If you're gonna go Chiron mid, just go full ability damage. Chiron is a burst hunter. I there is no point in like you want the cooldown reduction. He has sustain for his passive. Just go full burst, in my opinion. I think you lose so much of the value of the character if you do that.
It is quite a unique build. Maybe you just want some extra pen, who knows? But looking at builds here, we see Alfie here opting for some anti-heal. I don't know if there is that much healing on the side of Phil Sparkus, man.
Probably not. I mean, you've got the Chiron passive. You've got Artemis, who will have about 15% from a Hunter's Cowl and about 20% from Azzy. So, I sort of
Naturally,
understand
but I
it.
think it's a bit overkill counting the natural lifesteal you'll have from your one.
Yeah, Alfie as well. I've tend to notice he's a big fan of just going brawlers. Honestly, you
Yeah.
never really see this on Warriors, or you've never really seen it as much. Warriors always tend to go, apart from maybe like your Wukongs, they always love to go one of the defensive anti-heal items. Do you have any idea why Alfie may be opting for this?
I think he might just be looking for some more pen to propel himself forward. Looking at the entire tree, Titan's Bane isn't really worth it for him. As we see a big fight breaking out here. Lina just dropping the Fields of Love, Pinata falling down, big bobbles coming out. Just yeah, they're gonna get the wipe. This the Fire Giant.
Yep, they're going straight to Fire Giant here.
Gonna
Brilliant
be
teamfight
quite
there.
free, and now I can answer question you had before. Basically, the choice is anti-heal. If you want a damage item, Crusher scales off of your power. You're not gonna have any like that much power in a Glad Shield build. And for Jotuns, with all the other good CDR items, you're probably just gonna be overcapping. And so Brawler's just the one that makes sense. But the one I think that Alfie really should have opted for here is just going a Heart Seeker. I think it would have netted him more value.
Yeah, for sure. Heartseeker is an item gaining value over 9.5 changes. Qin-Kais getting the Fire Giant 24 minutes in. Next Fire Giant probably will be ready for EFG. So yeah, good job there by Qin-Kais. I think they should honestly start from maybe left side and sweep across to right side. Normally you want to go the other way around, but I just think with that tier 1 tower still being up, the pathing's a bit weirder. And they can go back towards that Oni Fury maybe. In fact,
Yeah,
no.
we saw the wipe over there, over the Gold Fury fight. From having no lead at all, Qin-Kais are now 5k up. They're just, yeah, they're just really big right now. A consolation price Gold Fury for Feels Bacchus, but they will be stuck defending here. Double ADC comp, it's not gonna be too hard defending, but I do think that the Arthur is probably gonna struggle when on the defensive.
Yeah, I mean, a Fields of Love, it just forces beats immediately. I think if Terra ever hits anything, Arthur just dies really
Yeah,
bad at
Fields
first.
of Love coming out here too.
Lina
Ends up
able to
getting
get
picked
that.
up. Oh, Lina
Oh no!
escaping the wall.
Kraken out of mana as well. Oh no, that is so unfortunate there for Zara. That is a mental shatter. That is
Very
rough.
unlucky.
Wait, Oni waves? Was Oni Fury secured by
Oni Fury
back?
was taken by Fields Bacchus.
Oh, running it down mid here might look for Phoenix. Baba Yaga has backed. If Baba Yaga can maybe delay that, I think that's a free it'd be a free Duoside Phoenix.
Yeah, both of the team members here feels Bacchus, man, just trying to dive here or recall here.
I don't.
Just need to make sure that this Phoenix isn't getting taken, but it will fall down either
Yeah.
way.
I think Linus build, she has so much pen, like such a great tower shredding build. Got the 20% on the dominance, 20% on the silver branch. Oh, it's 25% if you count the passive. Sorry. And then the executioner as well. She just shreds towers like.
Yeah, definitely. Both hunters here actually not opting to go any crits, which I find kind of curious.
I mean, crit still definitely has its value for Fire Giants, Gold Furies, but I think the nerfs, I think the Spectral buff has helped a bit. I'm a big fan, a big advocate for Oboe. I think Oboe is one of the best gold efficient items in the game. It's so much damage spread across the team for such a low price.
Yeah.
I just think the passive will always be good. It's such a good item on IV auto attack junglers, and it's such a good item for ADCs.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been one that's preferred whenever just pen hunters are the meta, simply because it's more consistent.
Yeah, for sure. Think it's the most fun metas in my opinion. Sure, crit, you see big numbers and you pull a funny face at the big numbers, but I think honestly I think the game's always in a better state when a crit isn't commonly bought on multiple roles, which it is at the minute. So
Yeah, it is definitely. But yeah, the Feels Bacchus man just trying to Feels Bacchus man members trying to scavenge for some farm here, getting ready for this next fire giant, which as you said is going to be EFG. The team that gets this one might well win the game, I'd say.
yeah, for sure. Alfie just running in over here. Not really doing much. Fire Giant gonna be up in about 40 seconds. By the time it's done, it's probably gonna be an EFG.
Yeah,
Transformation
Elfie
here.
here just looking to int for some player damage.
Oh,
What a garbage player, really. Just kidding,
I've
Elfie. I
thought
love
about
you.
that. He is in fact in for player damage. Would be interesting to see how much he's done here. Fight going on. Terra ult used. Yeah, Alfie top of player damage chart. Salmon flip. Yeah, beads. Caledonian boar comes out. Scotty gets backed
Yeah,
off here.
Morton jumping in there or jumping out because he fears for his life, getting caught in a bit of a bad position. Oh, and he
Bomb onto
gets
Zara.
sniped.
Zara low. Liner getting the kill on Zara. Alfie low. Liner goes down to Griffinizer.
Yeah, and then
Bushra
Alfie also
really
gets
needs
picked
to
up here.
ult here.
Blank Tsukuyomi in a horrible position. Baba ult comes out.
Home Sweet Home's going massive here. Lots of damage. Kind of needs to get out here though.
Yeah.
All low. If he hits some ability. Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, they just need to back here and just go fire. This is their fire giant. They've managed to turn this around. That is nothing I expected from Feels Bacchus, man, when they had that much of a deficit. But they've shown that they are still, like, capable of coming in here and just wiping people.
Yeah, for
Morton being the
sure.
only one that can defend, Sir Kent having no real secure or steal potential. However, gonna go for Griffinizer. Griffinizer still with Aegis up. Oh, but he ends up getting picked off. Very
That's
unlucky there.
massive there by Morton. I
The fact
think.
that they didn't have any wards there to like show Morton coming at all is very bad on the side of Feels Bacchus, man. It should not get picked off like that, especially not before a fire giant.
Yeah, for sure. I think a thing you have to consider with this Feels Bacchus Man team, I wouldn't say they have some of the best, like, you sort of snowy big man Jesus level sort of players on their team. But I think a thing they have is that they are a very synergized team. Like Scotty, Download Later, Zara all know each other. I believe Download Later and Zara are on the same league in a different or same team in a different league. They are a very synergized team, and I think that's going to be their strong point this season. I think their good team fights could end up being a deal breaker for their games. Fire Giant starting to go down now. Nada engaging onto Morton here. Plush was stunned by the small offer up, taking a lot of damage.
Huge damage there from Panada.
Yeah, forces the Terror Rule. Did it force Terror? I thought I saw Terror Rule be used, honestly. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Goes off cooldown a bit later. Interesting.
Yeah, and
Griffinizer.
Griffinize are coming back here with the speed buff.
Interesting to see here as well that Griffinizer is not a hunter, they are a leader, if you look at their starter choice. Interesting.
The leader's cow.
Yeah, I mean, I think surely it's good for objectives, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, probably. Probably.
I never see that item be built. Pinada low here, Alfie salmon flipping onto the enemies.
Yeah.
Have a look
Pinada
here.
having to be careful here, very limited HP bar.
Ooh,
Morton missing his ability, wow.
Push rush getting a kill there. Zara
And
getting
Morton just jumping out here. Yeah,
Baba
Zara
Yaga going house mode onto Griffinizer and Scotty there. House mode does a lot of damage. Morton getting the kill. Scotty
yeah, there's
low.
gonna be a
Looks like
pickup
he's
here
gonna
on
go
Scotty
down.
as well, and that will be their fire giant.
Surely, do they go? Oh no, they're looking to end here actually. Are they? No, never mind. They're 30 seconds down the later. They might have been able to. All towers are down. Don't really have the minions for it though, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Trebuchet
I don't really
riding.
believe that I don't really believe
You
that
don't believe?
they're gonna be able to do that. To take down a Phoenix and then the Titan. They're way too tanky at this, especially in this current patch.
Oh
Alfie gets soloed by the Fire Giant. At least he got soloed by something that isn't a player. Am I right?
no!
As well as Flush Rush.
That is the third Fire Giant kill this set, bro, against Qin-Kais.
Yeah.
Oh, inshallah.
I'm sad to say, but isn't that the third time Alfie's been soloed this set?
It is.
It
Don't
is.
worry though, he's still the number 2, guys. Him and Printers, they have some dodgy dealings going off.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, they do end up getting the Fire Giant, but at what cost?
Everything.
Yeah.
Lina didn't get Fire Giant as well. Lina was dead, wasn't she?
Pretty sure, yeah, Lina was dead. Lina does not have the Fire Giant.
This really, it's not a big win, honestly.
Getting EFG on 2 people, I mean, you get it on, you take it away from the other team, but I do think that Field's Bacchus men are now going to be able to fight a bit more comfortably, knowing that not many people on the enemy team will have the Fire Giant.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Blanked Tsukuyomi here getting caught out. Fields of Love coming out. Will it be enough to save Blanked Tsukuyomi? Scotty here getting caught out too, just getting dove on. Yeah, big fight here breaks out. Pinata getting chased by Lina. Sara gets picked up. Pinata gets picked up. Alfie transforming. Griffinizer is gone. This is game. This is game. Oh, run. Run, my child. Oh, Alfie just... oh,
You missed the slap. Incredible. Yeah, but
he ends up
like
getting a triple. Not very stylish finish, but hey, we'll take it. And that will most likely be the game. And set, if I'm correct, yeah.
Yeah, it would be the set. 2-0 from Qin-Kais, but I think the scoreline of the set really doesn't reflect how it goes. Like, I think could have gone either way, honestly. Strong moments from both teams
Yeah.
at separate points. I think, honestly, we might be looking at 2 of the top 4 teams. I'd say top 4, top 5. I think, honestly,
Then
1
again,
through 5, 1 through 5, the teams, honestly, are all really close, in my opinion.
With the Qin-Kais having 2 subs, though, it's kind of hard to judge.
Yeah, for sure. I think their ADC, their duo lane has got obviously red, purple, blue, one of the best posts in the league. But I think their ADC area is their weakest point normally. especially after losing Pufus. But yeah, still quite impressed. Liner did a very good job subbing in. Alfie,
Yeah.
didn't really int for player damage as much this game, only 27k, same as Pinado, who had a pretty good set.
Yeah.
Griffinizer,
He wasn't top damage on his team, and for that I cannot give him the traumatized inting for player damage certificate.
yeah, for sure. Who are we thinking for MVP? Game 2 actually.
MVP, I mean, for me, I just think that Sara early to mid just did a fantastic job, just catching people out with the walls, just making calls on who to go on, just securing them kills, gaining a small lead. But it can also go to Pinata for just absolutely just diffing. I have to say diffing most of the game. The Kokolin.
Yeah, I think another strong candidate as well would be Liner. I think played into a bad matchup for Cupid in the lane, but I think in team fight she really did massive numbers and made sort of team fights so much harder for the
Yeah.
side of Feels Backsman.
Yeah, my MVP for Qin-Kais is gonna have to go to Plush Rush. Plush Rush really just really made sure that those Baba ults were just controlling the fights. The fights were always being done on
Yeah,
demand of Qin-Kais simply because those Baba pools they just burn through your entire team. You have to split up. It's hard to focus anyone, and yeah, that just comes out whenever you try to dive a Baba, and then it's over, you know.
yeah, for sure. I think the stat line not really representing how impactful.
I mean,
Uh,
16 assists, gotta hand it to him.
16 assists, yeah, that is an oof. If you ever wanted one. Let's see if we can get a quick player interview with the winning team. I will message one of them. I think I know who I'm gonna
Can we get
message.
Alfie in here? Can we get Alfie in here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, can do. Would have
Yeah,
to
let's do it.
move. I'll message Morton as well. To view. Ah, right then. See what we say. Yeah, Morton said yeah. Alfie said no. That's sad. Okay. Let me
Alfie
get.
said no?
Okay. I'm asked.
SMH.
All right, let's get Morton in there.
Alright.
I messaged him in all caps. That's so passive aggressive. Hi, Morton.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Good.
Morton. I just have to ask you this because I think everyone is wondering. Um, what is your relationship with the Kabrakan wall? I just have to know.
My relationship with the Cabrakan wall.
Yeah.
I got fucking punched into it, didn't I?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a rough relationship, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I can't say too much though, because there are investigations ongoing. It's a domestic
Yeah.
case. Yeah. So I can't
I
say too
understand.
much because it'll ruin the. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as you can see, I was kind of black and blue there in the early mid game.
Objection, hearsay.
Besides that, how did you feel going into this game two? Because I wasn't here for the game one, but you guys won that one. So what was the mindset for going to the second game?
The mindset going into the second game was to not really change anything up because we kind of felt like we ran the game in game one, like for the all stages of the game. But game two, their mid 3v3 in the early mid game is just a lot stronger than ours. So once they sort of slapped us around a little bit and we sort of learned our lesson, we said, okay, no more fighting, just farm up to late and fight, then use our sustain to fight,
Yeah.
slow engagements.
We saw a lot of struggles here, like in the early to mid game, just the early 3v3s not really going your way. You just feel like, yeah, we gotta change this up and try something else?
That was literally it. Yeah, we just sort of said, well, let them have mid neutrals, just let them have whatever they want around that area, and we'll either play elsewhere. We just play our time, wait for the late game, because our late game is our draft late game. I feel is a lot stronger than theirs personally.
Absolutely.
So we just decided we're just going to play off of our sustain with the Cupid and the Terror and just play the poke battle really, and that was it.
I think another big boost for you guys as well. No curse donk, game 2 on the enemy side. How helpful do you think that was with having the terror on your team and the heals? In fact, I don't think a single piece of anti-heal on the enemy team. One what's it called? Pestilence, and that was it on the anti-heal front. I think that's a big help.
Curse Dank, I suppose, could have helped, but I think I'm not sure how much value you could have gotten off of it, because most of the fights were just sort of poke battles for a long time before we committed. So I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't feel too bad for him if I was them, but I think I would have gone more certainly for some anti-heal. I mean, it's never going to be a bad pickup into our comp, right? But
No,
I think it was a tough one for them to get on the back line for a start.
Absolutely. If you had to pick one MVP from the opposing team, who would it be?
Tough, man, honestly, because they all played really well. They're a strong team, for anyone out there that's wondering whether you can beat them or not. They're a strong team, and they're missing. They've got a sub in, so they're a very strong team.
We said on
I don't know.
cast,
Zara's Kabrakan for the second game, because he sort of dominated the early mid game, right?
yeah.
And then I don't know. With first game, I'm not sure really on the first game. I need. Did we play? It was. I don't know. I'm not sure if any of them had a. I mean, the Kepri maybe, because for the first game, which is download. I'm not sure if any of them really had a particularly good game in the first set.
First set, I'm trying to remember.
It was Cleo, Kern, Gilga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm mentioning that these are all very strong. This one of the newly formed teams, and they're putting on quite a show, which leads me to a follow-up question. Would you be worried if you had to face these players down again, like with more training and such?
I wouldn't be worried, because I'd have a full team. I'd be able to take red, purple in support. I'd be able to put Plush Rush back in ADC. So I
Besides
wouldn't be
red, purple,
worried.
blue, who was
Pardon?
missing?
Luxior.
Oh, Luxior.
Yeah, and both my subs, unfortunate. I'd say no. I wouldn't be worried, but I wouldn't take the game lightly. I don't really like to say I'm worried about any team that we play personally, but I'm not. I don't. I wouldn't go in there with the mindset that it's going to be an easy win, because I know they're a tough team. If I would, I don't know where I would put them honestly in terms of the standings with the other teams.
If I can say,
third?
like, no game is truly an easy win. Like, you have to play seriously against everyone, or this is how you lose
Exactly.
game.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's right.
I mean, I was saying to Tier, I honestly feel like the second through fifth teams are all really interchangeable right now. I think your two teams honestly slot in there at the minute.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
The
I
other
mean,
two will go unnamed. But yeah, I think the 2 through 5 slots are so competitive right now. I think this game really showed it. I think it was a really competitive game from between both sets. Like team fights went back and forth. I think like Plush Rush and Liner respectively turned so many team fights just from really strong individual moments.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can't really disagree with that. They had cracker of a game, both of them. Not sure where I'd place them compared to everyone else, though. Honestly, I could. I don't know. I really don't know. I wanted to sit and say that maybe they're probably third place out of everybody I've played. I think, like, you can just tell. I know that the first game wasn't really that tough for us. The second game in the early mid was it was fairly tough. But just by looking at like individual player skill and the way they played the team fights and stuff, probably say they're one of the stronger teams in the league. If you are going to be playing them next week or whenever, I think you're gonna have to get some scrim time in.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Wonderful performance by both teams today, and thank you so much for coming on to the interview, Morten.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Take care.
Just
I'll catch you
one
later.
quick final question: did Alfie int for player damage?
Alfie, Alfie always ints for player damage, and he never wards either.
You heard it
Oh,
first.
you'd love
Yeah.
to hear it, my goat. Anyways, thank you so much, everyone,
Yeah.
for watching this set, and we're hoping to see you again soon.
Yeah, take care.
Adios.
Bye bye.
Oh, the